Friday. Sometimes it's Thursdays, depending on my schedule. But why don't we go over and start the YouTube side, too, and we'll get this whole thing rolling. Whoo, yeah! What's up, everybody? I'm gonna start a little bit early. We got some talking to do today. Get your questions ready. Today's just gonna be a Q&A, because obviously field day is tomorrow, and I've got a lot on my plate. So we'll just get started. We'll talk. We'll answer questions. I'll talk about what I'm doing for field day, and you can tell me what you guys are up to. But yeah, right on. All right, let's get the pre-beverage before my beer here. Got a lot of people in the chat already. Awesome. For those that are watching on YouTube, I'm also simulcasting on Facebook to try it. Seems to be working okay. Can't really follow the chat room very well there because it doesn't, I can't pop it out, so it is what it is. We'll just keep doing it on the YouTubes here. Got the chat going, so if at any time you guys want to talk about something, go ahead and post in the chat. I got some things from Facebook too that we're going to talk about. But as always, let's cover our regular housekeeping before we kick off the show proper. Reminder, as always, we're moving forward with radio. Today I realized I didn't have enough coax or a long enough run of coax for the 2 antennas that I'm going to run for field day. So I ran to the HRO. And I asked, hey, Billy Bob was there, of course, and said, hey, Billy Bob, what's the one thing that everybody comes into HRO for before field day? And he said, coax. So I definitely joined the team there with Team Coax, last minute coax. Last week we talked about propagation on the ham radio, get your general course license classes, and it was on propagation. A lot of fun. Propagation's really interesting because it's like the rubber meeting the road. It's the combination of the environment and your equipment coming together and making something happen. Anyway, this is my Yaesu hat that they gave me from HRO. They're giving away a boatload of these. I don't know if it's just the one in Anaheim, California. They all could have them, but if you want a Yaesu hat, go buy an HRO. Let's see. Okay, people are just still coming in. Excellent. We'll keep rolling with the notes here. Make sure you're following us on Facebook. The Ham Radio Crash Course on Facebook is where we, post stuff throughout the week when we're not streaming or doing videos. So make sure you go there. Make sure you go there and post it when you get your license too. You don't have to have your license to join, but it's awesome when people do join and say they got their license. And maybe that's a little bit thanks to the Ham Radio Crash Course, which is awesome. We love to hear that. Reddit, for those that hate Facebook, which there are plenty of you, we got a Reddit now that Ethan set up for us and some of the admins are working on. Awesome. Great work. Speaking of admins, we got Zach in the chat for YouTube. He's also an admin on Discord. Appreciate the work there. And he's posting the link for Discord because we also have a Discord. And the Discord's like a chat room, both voice and text, that you can go to talk ham radio. Okay? Pretty cool. Let's see. Field day's tomorrow. No reminder needed there, but I don't know why I put field day reminder. Everybody knows it's a field day tomorrow. Let's see. Next stream is obviously next week, but it's probably going to be back on the general course, although I'm not sure because I'm supposed to give a talk to a boys and girls school, a boys and girls club outside of LA on amateur radio. So I might record it and play part of it for the stream. I think that might be fun. Then we can critique how good or bad I did. The Dakota lithium battery coupon code still going on for the end of the month. For those that didn't hop on it in enough time to get your battery shipped out to you before field day, it's still a good deal in case you needed a battery. And they are very light. I like the battery for that a lot. And of course, we do a live chat after the stream on Discord. Okay, so what are we looking at? Well, we're looking at a bunch of junk. I got some of this stuff in the mail today, so I thought I'd just throw it on the desk. This is a cool little copper skull that I got from what do you call it? CountyCom. And a Boker knife. This thing is like cool Boy Scout knife. Possibly one of the... If I was a Boy Scout again, all over again, I would want that knife. Couple things I want to mention. I'm having a blast with the Yaesu FT2DR, and I got it paired up with a signal stick by Signal Stuff. Great antenna. Haven't done the comparison yet with the 771 or anything of a relatively same length, 16, 17, 18-inch length. Great antenna so far, though. And I've got it wrapped up because that's how I stow it when it's not on the radio. I twist it up like that and I throw it in my bag. Super cool. Great design there, and it's a good product. I'm able to go out what I feel is a little bit further than a lot. So, DJ Schnibs, what did he say about Cutlery Lover? Cutlery Lover's my boy. I'd send him Christmas gifts every year, and he'd do a little opening video. Jeff and I go way back. I think I got his phone number. I think I've talked to him on the phone. Have I? I don't remember. B HUD 1972 says, your vids inspired me to go all the way through to extra over the last 2 months. 0 to hero since March. Thanks for your videos. Keep up the good work. Thank you for, that's a lot of intensity in going all the way to your extra. I know Tom recently hit his extra, so congratulations to you, Tom. And I think he is going in for his VE, so that's super awesome. Great. I don't know about the VE. I respect everybody who does it, but I don't know if I can sit there and just give people tests. No offense, Carrie. Not to say, because teachers also do that. I don't know what I would do. I think I'd be on my phone not paying attention to anything, and they'd be like, people would just be cheating. Okay, so let's talk about field day. I am running what's called 1B, which means my classification of my station is going to be, there's some bonuses in there too, so I gotta make sure I get this right. In fact, I printed all the information out, and it's in this binder that I'm gonna keep with me for when we're doing field day tomorrow. I'm running 1B, which is a 1 or 2 person field day location. I'm going to be running from my backyard, which doesn't sound that glorious, but I'm streaming. I'm going to stream the entire thing. Turns out YouTube doesn't have a limit on how long you can stream for. So I'm just going to turn the cameras on, and I'm going to roll through the whole day, into the night, into the morning, depending on how long I want to go for. And you guys are welcome to watch. Should be pretty interesting. I will be running off of solar during the day, and if the batteries can't hold out, I'll switch over to generator power. So I won't be on the mains. That means I get a bonus for using emergency power or non-traditional power, which is pretty awesome. I will be taking my 7300 outside and operating with that primarily. I will also have my VHF, UHF, which I will be monitoring / scanning, because there's all kinds of stuff going on in VHF too. And I have an antenna. I've got similar to what I have on the roof. I've got another MFJ pulsar antenna that I'll be setting up for that. I haven't decided what I'm going to do with it yet. It's likely after this stream, I'm going to do a little envelope calculations to figure out how much shipping is on something like that, and I may give it away. To the channel, somebody in the channel. So I know everybody could use a nice base station VHF, UHF antenna, so hopefully that sounds like a good idea to a lot of you. All right, so feel free to ask questions at any time or talk about anything you're interested in. But yeah, so gonna have an easy up, gonna sit there in the backyard, all set up on alternative power, and try to work as many contacts as I can. It should be fairly challenging for a multitude of reasons, because I will be live streaming, so that requires one computer, and then I'll have another computer for doing logging, and I will probably at some point switch over to FT8. FT8 has its own, yeah, you might see Hashnasi snoring on the live stream for sure. FT8 has its own kind of issues with field day, because if you've ever used FT8 before, there's not really an entry for field day. Because how field day works is you have the amount of operators, that's the first number. So you say a call sign, field day, call sign, the amount of operators, in my case 1, and then the classification. Clubs are A class, and I'm a B class, which is a 1 or 2 person team that's in the field. I will have a beer cooler, that is true. I will be eating all my meals outside. I'm likely just going to have like freeze-dried food. I'm going to do like a hiking thing. Like I'm going to simulate like an emergency, simulate like a hike, camping situation. So I'll be trying to work in that capacity, right? I love my AK-40 or 74 says just got my MFJ Pulsar mini dual band antenna in the mail. Yeah, I have the 17 footer. I like it a lot. It's very good. It has a lot of gain and it seems to do really well with my local repeater. So I like it very much. And I'll be running the same radio. In fact, let's just flip that over. So I'm going to be running something like this, what you see here, but it's going to be outside. So hopefully you'll be able to see, the screen here a little bit better. That's the problem with this icon is it's so bright that the camera, it just washes out the camera. I will have the Zaiju X5105 QRP radio. And in a lot of cases, it might be better to just run the Zaiju. So what I'm going to do is... Tom, thank you, buddy. Oh, there we go. Party light. Thank you for the $1. Appreciate the tip. The Zaiju, 5 watts, technically, when you're doing field day and you're running QRP, you get more points for that. You get modifiers, right? So running off of batteries, solar panels, modifier. Running under 150 watts of transmission power, you get a bonus. It's like a 2x bonus for every contact. If you run under 5 watt QRP, I think it's a 5-point modifier for every contact. That's pretty good. So if you're in a target-rich environment and there's just tons of people all over the place, that's a pretty good deal. You could run QRP and it's not a problem. Advantage with QRP, you don't run through batteries very fast. So I might just start my 7300 up and say, man, there's so many people here in Southern California, and the way I've got that MFJ configured, it might function a bit like an NVIS antenna. I may just run 5 watts, and at some point I might swap the 7300 out for the Zaiju because it's going to be a bit better on the batteries, is my assumption. I haven't looked in the math yet. I still have a lot to do, by the way. I have a lot to do. This week was pretty ridiculous, as always, with the kids and whatnot. So I didn't end up doing any of the videos I wanted to do. And I should make a note of that. Can you see here? That box right there? That box is my solar panel. Yeah, that thing is awesome. The link for that is in the Amazon affiliate links down below. It's a Renogy panel, 100 watts. Now, either Amazon screwed this up, somebody might have screwed something up. It's $130, but it comes with the charge controller. It comes with the connector for the panel to the charge controller, and then a connector from the charge controller to a battery. What a good deal. And that charge controller is nice. So I'm thinking somebody screwed up. Yeah. It's very, very nice. Got it set up. My dad was over for Father's Day. Got that set up with him. It was a lot of fun to work with him on that. And I'm quite happy. I just got to get it placed out in a good location, and I'm going to be rocking for field day. So very excited about that. Well, questions. People are just having a fun time chatting in the, I should get some beer going. We should do that. So today I got the Coconut Porter by Avery. This is a bourbon barrel aged beer, 1 pint and 6 fluid ounces. It's 10.8%. If you're part of the brew crew, I updated a bunch of beers that I needed to catch up on. So sorry about that. It's taken me a couple weeks, largely because I wasn't drinking beer. But I updated it. Ooh. Sometimes I wish you could just smell the beers. Like I could just connect a device to YouTube's and have people smell these beers because they smell really good. A lot of people don't like coconut, and link to the panel is in the link downstairs in the description to Amazon, and go to Field Day. There should be 4 lists, and one of them's Field Day. And it should be in there. Renogy 100 watts. If it's not, please say something. Yeah, I know. Carrie just said coconut. Ew. A lot of people don't like coconut. But in beer, particularly a nice stout, barrel aged preferred, it's very good. It mellows it out really nicely. Coconut milk stout in particular is very, very good. Man, it's good stuff. Yeah, smell-o-vision would be awesome. So I did poll Facebook, Ham Radio Crash Course, before we started the video. And I posted on the Patreons, and I posted in Discord, so I'll go back over there too. But I got some questions, and so we'll just go through them. We're also going to talk about the GoTenna. This is the GoTenna mesh. If you haven't looked into that, you might want to pull this thing up. Okay. We also need to talk about that. Wait, where's my Facebooks? Hey. Hey, hold on. I kind of just have a loose plan of action here that I want to... Oh, hey, Jerry! So, sorry, I just jumped back over to Facebook. What's up, Jerry? He's watching from the Facebook side. Eric's there. Tony Bishop's there. Very cool. Actually, looks like Tony's also in ours. So, awesome. Awesome there. Let me pull this up really quick so we don't lose it. I want to make sure we get those questions, and I guess I squashed my own questions, which is very likely. I do that quite often. So I don't know if you can hear that. Can you hear that fan? That fan noise? That's that icon. I like the icon, but that fan noise is a little bothersome. Okay. So, asked beforehand. Oh, cool! Look at that. There's some Inception. Cool. So it shows up just like that. That's super, super awesome. Okay. So we got some questions. That should be funny. If I get a lot of contacts and I'm feeling a little punchy, I might try and do the tuner. I might try to have the tuner tune a lawn chair if I've got the time. AD6DM Dennis asks, are you going to hack a bunch of GoTennas with big antennas and create a private city-wide MCOM mesh network? Yeah, I would love to. I am trying to talk to the folks at GoTenna to see if they'll send me one or two that I can play with. The James on Twitter, the guy who makes the quirky QRP radio transmitter that works off the 9-volt battery, sent me this little awesome little dongle dingle radio. He hacked an SMA jack into that thing. Very cool. It's 900 megahertz, the device. We'll talk about that, like I said. I don't want to forget. But yes, that's exactly what I want to do. I can't tune a piano, but I can tune a fish. Okay. Why won't the RT Systems software work with the B-Tech programming cables? I know there is a chip in both, but both still talk to the radio, and I can't. And why can't I download the B-Tech software? B-Tech does not answer email. A lot of questions. I don't know anything about B-Tech. I don't know anything about RT Systems, to be honest with you, either. I don't know why they don't work. It's probably not that the software's not working with the cable. It's probably that the radios don't work with the software that you're trying to connect it to. I know I have to use the Redivis software when I try and work on my RT88. Ooh, what did I just do? So that's something to think about. The transceiver chips in Baofeng radios causing a Geiger-like noise during RX while the radio is in motion. Example, in a vehicle. Yeah, so this is not the first time I've heard this. And somebody sent me a video on YouTube about this exact phenomena. And it's not picket fencing. It's a very specific thing. I don't know why. I don't know why it's happening. I'm not exactly sure on which. Gotta go get the pizza in the oven. All right, Carrie. I'll see you. I don't know why it's happening, but it is a problem. And whomever you bought the Baofeng from, I don't know if it's a BFF8HP or a UV5R. I don't know which type it is. I can't tell you anything about it because I have not seen it in person. It sounds like it only happens when you're driving. And it is relative to the speed you're going. So initially I thought it was like an alternator pickup, like you were picking up tones from the alternator. It doesn't sound like that. Alternators kind of have a whine to them. This is like a really, like a Geiger counter, like loud popping. And I don't know what's going on. Don't know what's going on. It sounds like though when you're outside the car and you're just standing there, it's fine. So I'm at a loss. I don't have one, so I do know what's happening. My piece of advice was send it back. Send it back and get another one. Send it back. And if you don't have a... Like, I know I always say this. If you don't have a BFF8HP or just a regular UV5R, you could be in dangerous ground. Because you're not going to get very good support. And I find that the quality is dubious on some of these alphabet soup Baofangs. It's a copy of the UV5R, but there's just something else going on with them that I'm not really a big fan. I know I mentioned that a lot, but yeah. Marky in the stream says, hey, Hosh just got into ham and loved learning about VHF, UHF on Baofeng. Our local police use P25 and a lot of folks are adopting DMR. Should newbies think about starting with digital? Yeah, absolutely. And, I will give a shout out. Loyal, the admin there, if you ask him, he may be able to answer. Or better yet, why don't you download Discord while we're doing the chat? Come to the Discord chat at the end of the stream, and you can ask Loyal directly. He's kind of like the resident expert on DMR programming, because I think he's the only person who doesn't just abhor working on it. I don't like programming DMR. Much harder than Chirp. Anyway, should you? Yes. Here's your problem. I'll break it down for you. P25 is one of the digital modes that the police and first responders use. It's in Kenwood professional radios, Motorola professional radios, and you need special software to program the radio. It's expensive. The radios, you can get them used, relatively inexpensive, but the software can be expensive. It's licensed software. If you join a club, though, you'll likely be able to mitigate that somewhat because there's probably already someone who has it or knows someone who has it, and you can work it out that way. Now, with DMR's barrier of entry is very low. DMR radios are very inexpensive because they're corporate radios that have been kind of shoehorned to work with ham radio, amateur radio. Great. They're cheap. They're very plentiful. You can get them all over the place. You can get them on Amazon. Some of the downsides. The software really is only in Windows. It's very picky about which software you use, meaning if you have a Retevis, you need to use Retevis software. If you have a TYT, you need to use TYT with software. They may share software because they're actually the same company, but usually between the other companies, you got to use their software. I've been told that Chirp is working on digital software. I don't know how well that's going to go, though, because it's not just a standard programming mechanism, algorithm. It's its own thing, and it varies depending on which radio you have. So, should you? Yes, it's fun, it's interesting. DMR is often called the HF of VHF, UHF, of handhelds, because it is. You can talk basically around the world on DMR. Now, what's the downside of that? It requires the internet to talk long distances. If the internet goes down, your repeater is still up on the mountain, you can still just do DMR to that repeater, no problem. You're just limited in the sphere of influence of your propagation of your repeater. Because the internet, what it's doing is when you transmit to that repeater, it's digitizing it, going over the internet, and going to the other repeater that you're trying to contact in the channel that you're talking in, or the talk group you're talking in. So it's very internet heavy. It needs the internet to work. That's not bad, but it's not two-way radio. You've now gone a step away from two-way radio. There's nothing to be ashamed of that, but just so you all know, that's important to know. Oh, Zach says there is a program out there trying to clone Chirp for DMR and works well on some radios. Great. Ginger Ninja asks, what's your experience with voltage drop when transmitting portable? My FT891 drops battery from 12 to 11.7 volts, sometimes 50 watts, less if I go QRP. My radio seems to tolerate it okay, luckily. Ginger, how big is your battery? How many amps output is your battery? You might want to know about that. Justin Moyer says, I got System Fusion and Echolink. So System Fusion is on the Yaesu FT2DR. I have a lot of fun with this. This is a cool little radio for CFM is the digital mode that this uses. It's fine. It's totally cool. They actually make like a handheld mic that has a camera in it. You can send the picture via the handheld, which is pretty sweet. I will give a nod to Icom with their D-Star radios. I believe they are Bluetooth, and you can actually share pictures with them, kind of like SSTV. That's pretty cool. So pretty awesome on that. But again, remember how we did a couple weeks ago, we did APRS on your Baofeng. You can also do SSTV via your Baofeng. You just need a phone and a way to connect the radio input and output to your phone. And you can do SSTV, both receiving and transmitting. I know, I've done it. In fact, the talk that I'm going to give to the Boys and Girls Club, I'm going to use an SSTV example where I use the radio to transmit to an SDR that's going to be on the laptop and it'll receive it. I'm going to do that for the ISS recording that I have and for, I don't know, some meme, or I'll take a picture of the class and send it like that. So, yeah, Radioddity was the other one I was thinking of. Okay. Tim asks, explain this. What does all this mean? The solar terrestrial data. I've got a website that has more detail on that. We'll talk about that in a second. So, tune the lawn chair. Okay. Off-grid soda and ham busters. Yeah, so ham busters. Let's talk about that for a second. Where did that go? Where did that link go? Is it gone? Is it gone? There it is. Everybody. So I'm thinking about, and I need your help on all this stuff. If you're on Facebook, get on the Ham Radio Crash Course, or go post in the Discord, tag me, or go post on Reddit, and let me know any kind of ham radio myths you think need to be tested. Case in point, the rat tail, or the tiger tail, or the piece of wire that's basically a radial for NHT that a lot of people recommend and some people even use and walk around outside in public with. I am gonna break this thing down. I've got a field strength meter and I've got an SWR meter that I can put on this. So I'm gonna put it through some paces. So I'm gonna call it ham busting. So hopefully that's something we can get to in the future. Okay. But I need your myths, or what you think is true, not true. You want to know how they work. Dylan Winter, indoor apartment antennas. Indoor/apartment antennas. I've seen dipoles that people rig up that go around the upper corners of the wall where the ceiling meets the wall. They put it in there. You can do that. Dipoles work fine. Magnetic loops work pretty good, although they have a pretty big magnetic field, so be careful about that. You can always just throw a piece of wire off your balcony too. Just literally just hang it off your balcony and you can use a piece of wire as a radio antenna. Can I use satellites for ham radio while I'm in Korea? You can use satellites anywhere there is a satellite that has enough of an angle of approach to you. So yes, with that said, caveat. You have to make sure that the country that you're visiting has the appropriate laws in place, reciprocity laws, for you to actually do that in said country. So make sure that you check that out. I don't know how Korea works. I would be pretty surprised if they were tough on ham radio. I bet they're pretty open for you. But with that said, I actually take that back. I've heard some things about Korea. I know there's very few Korean amateur radio operators. So it's not so much the satellites. I'd say it's the ham radio. You might want to talk to somebody. The possible downside of trying to work satellites in Korea is there is a high likelihood that the people that will be talking on the satellites will not be speaking your language. Maybe. You might want to worry about that or check into that. Okay? All right. So let's let me go back over here. Let's talk about the GoTenna now. So again, James, the Quirky QRP, he posted about this GoTenna, and I knew of the first GoTenna, the one that was just it had an antenna that pulled out of it. That was a VHF, basically MURS radio, from what I understand, used MURS frequencies. And what it did was it allowed you to basically make kind of like packet messaging, like APRS, between two GoTennas. And the GoTennas connected to phones via Bluetooth. They were just like Baofangs to your phone, basically. A little bit more complicated than that, but basically that. So I wasn't that into them. They're pretty low power too. Now they came out with the GoTenna Mesh. The GoTenna Mesh is like an APRS radio crossed with a digipeater. Remember when I explained digipeaters? They're like repeaters that receive your APRS packets, amplify them, and then transmit them out, boosting its effective network coverage. Well, that's what this does. Very low power, only 1 watt, but they're all assisted by all the other nodes in their relative area. So all they need to do is get to another GoTenna to boost its propagation space. And it doesn't just mean yours or your friend's GoTenna. Anyone that you can get to, you can propagate to, you can connect to, right, that you have good connection to, will extend this coverage mesh. So that in itself is very interesting technology. If we remember going way back when I was talking about modifying a Linksys Wi-Fi router to do HamNet, ham Wi-Fi, ham radio Wi-Fi. Similar concept, very similar concept, okay? Awesome. The thing to think about is if you had a really bad grid down type situation, you could use these to keep communication going, okay? Further, people who have a concern the way the internet's going, this is like the future of the internet in a lot of ways. It is not for all the internet, not probably for what you're watching right now. I don't know that you'd want to watch my live stream over something like that. It's going to be slow. But it's communication that you can't take away from people. There's no cost to this. There's no subscription. It can't be turned off. It could be jammed, I guess. But it's encrypted. This one's encrypted. Keep that in mind. Very good. Very good idea. Yeah. So anyway, that's this guy. But I want to show you this too. So here's the network map. If I understand what yes. So here's my relative area. These are all the GoTennas in the area right now. And some of them are set up as nodes, shooting blind. This is just a stationary device that's connected to power of some kind, and it's just always being a node. Okay? Look at LA. This is all LA right here, northeast of me. That's all LA, that really dense pocket. I love this concept. And you don't need a license for this. This is, and I'm not affiliated with this at all. I just think it's a good idea. Now, it may not be the best fit and finish, but because I haven't put my hands on it, I can't completely recommend it. But I think it's a step in the right direction. So I wanted to talk about that briefly because I think it's a decent idea. I think it's a decent idea. In fact, I'm adding it to the affiliate page right now. Just so that where should we add it? We will add it to MCOMs. That sounds like the right place. Yeah, and so think if you're out camping or you're on a hike and you get separated. Pretty good. Yeah, AD6DM says, encrypted mesh radio networks, then how will the FCC eavesdrop and log us? I don't know. I mean, there might be some kind of like, because encryption is illegal, that they've got some backdoor way of being able to access the data. That may be. With that said, they just came out with an app to do blockchain. Blockchain via this thing. Super cool. Blockchain transactions of Bitcoin are going to be routed through this network. Awesome. I like this dude way out in the water, too. What's his... Let's click on him. Yayam76 UUTGR. This station is a mobile node. I really hope so. This station is 200 feet underwater. All right, questions. Fire away. Fire away. Hit me with your best shot. Fire away. Can't wait for my first field day. Yeah, man, it's gonna be fun. Like I said, I'm gonna try and stream as long as I can, and I'm gonna have a lot of fun no matter what. It's gonna be cool just hanging out in the shade a bit. The wife knows I'm not gonna I'm gonna be working radio. Kids are gonna be running around a little bit, so I gotta make sure I stake that antenna down really good so they don't get all wrapped up around it. Somebody asked, what am I drinking? I am drinking a coconut porter by Avery Beer. Very good. And they're in Boulder, Colorado, Avery. Avery's pretty good. Okay, Fan TV says, taking my 10-year-old son and 5-year-old daughter to a local field day site. Gonna try and get 2-meter and 440 contacts. Yeah, so they, a lot of places that are public field day locations will have something called a GOTA station, G-O-T-A. In fact, Carrie already said it. And she's gonna be on it. She'll be running the GOTA station trying to get 20 contacts. Awesome. And Zach, I don't know if you're asking me or if you're asking other people, are your kids going to make a contact? I might be able to get Ben to be able to do one. That I might try. I'll let him watch me for a while and see if he's interested. Okay. Katie says, I'm taking my children as well, 4, 11, and 15 years old. What a great bunch of ages. Yeah, that's perfect. James Hart, K17BSL from Cheyenne, Wyoming. Oh, man, you should just go ahead and hop on the Discords after, and if you can run FT8, we should try and get a contact. I need Wyoming for FT8. I think I do. I know I need one of the Carolinas, and I know I need one of the Dakotas. Everybody always needs a Dakota for FT8. Let's see. DJ Schnibs, Hosh, when you first got your general, was it hard to remember what frequencies you can transmit on and what you can't? Every time I see someone use HF, it seems so easy. Yeah, so spoilers, I use this. Not all the time, but I do reference it, and I will have this with me for field day. This is a nifty guy. Is there a title page for this thing, or is it just like loose? It's just loose. This is a simple laminated band plan card by Nifty Guides. Nifty Ham Radio Accessories. Like, they make this really great one for the 7300. So I keep these two books right on my HF radio, and I'll occasionally reference it. You kind of start to realize that, like, the front half of the band is for CW, and then between CW and SW and single sideband phone, there's a portion that's just extra portion. So you can't talk on that. You got to wait until the general portion begins, which is further down. And once you figure that out, it's not too hard. With that said, you might as well just get your extra. Then you don't have to think about it. Make your life easier. Short-term pain for a long-term simplicity of life and better overall stature. So Joe Wilson says, and I promise I'm not gonna. Okay, hold on, I'll explain. My radio is a Radio Oddity GD77, a Tier 1, Tier 2 radio, analog DMR radio, and I have had so very long QSOs on bridge, 3100, and my longest contact was from here to Georgia to Hawaii. So, I don't wanna like rain on his parade, and I don't want to make anybody feel bad, but it's not a two-way connection. You didn't key up the radio, and the RF go from that person, you, all the way to that person. It went through the internet for most of the way. That's not to say it's not cool. It's not a technological achievement that we have this capability. But it's not a long, complex, one-to-one connection, right? So, a little bit different. Just, some people might correct you in a snide kind of way. I could see something like that going down, like, it's not real ham radio. you're using the internet to cheat. And I think I've heard people say that before. Stuff like that. Okay. We're caught up on some questions. Oh, we got the voltage drop. Good. Hopefully that's good. I like D-Star the most, but Ohio is a DMR state. You will find that everything is a DMR state. It is largely and quickly becoming a DMR state because they are so cheap. As things get cheaper, they get adopted more, and then that's it. So. Luke says I did over 100 miles simplex D-Star. That's awesome. So that's cool. Let me explain why that's cool. So I mentioned it in the RT82 review video that one of the advantages of digital is that it has kind of like a strong signal and then it just kind of quickly drops when it gets to the edge. That's an advantage over analog, which has this kind of tendency to just slowly just drop all the way down until there's just nothing left at the very edge. So DMR is nice because you get a good sound all the way until it just dies, okay? So long distance simplex calls with DMR, pretty good because you get a pretty good copy on the other side. Carrie, I need a new VHF UHF antenna to go on my house. I want to get up to 40 miles away. What suggestions you have? So, is it a straight shot? Like, if there are any obstructions in the way? Joe Wilson, I found an antenna in the ARRL's portable antenna book that I'm modifying. Fun! That's always fun. Justin Moyers, I talked to a guy in an airplane on my Baofeng. Yes, that's very cool. That get up high, man. You know, the higher you are, the better it works, for sure. And James, thanks Ice Bomb. I've gotten 2 different answers, and yes, I have the Freak program to my HT. I'm ready for field day. Radios are ready. Antennas are... Oh, Matt Ford says, I'm ready for field day. Radios are ready. And antennas are up. I'm gonna do my antenna and all that tomorrow on stream. Look at Edfon. I think Carrie already has a roll-up antenna. So I think she's looking for something with either more directionality. I have trees. Yes, straight. I have trees further. So you can go with an Omni, like one of those MFJ Pulsars, or you can buy an inexpensive, you said dual band, didn't you? Did you say dual band? Dual band makes it difficult to go Yagi because technically dual band and VHF Yagis are, the elements are different size, so they'll be like stacked. Like that arrow is a stacked, it has a 2 meter on one and then a 70 centimeter on the other. So, yeah. James says, I have a suggestion for the antenna from Arrow Antennas in Cheyenne, Wyoming, the open stub J-pole antenna. That would work, but I'm borrowing the Arrow. I see. Elk log periodic, 2 meter and 70 centimeter beam. Yeah, there you go. A log periodic would be good. It's swift. Yeah. It can just be 2 meters. Yeah, so if you can get away with just a 2 meter Yagi, you might as well just get a Yagi, because then you can just point it in the direction you want it to be and just lock it in. You're done. Fan TV asked Josh, what time are you starting the stream tomorrow? To be honest with you, it really depends on how much I get done today, that I can set everything up so that I can just go outside, plop it down, and just start putting things together. I would like to start at 9 a.m. Field day starts at 11. If anything, the antennas and the radio setup is one of the easier parts of the whole thing. It's going to be getting the computer up and running and getting the solar panel connected, getting the stream going. That's going to take the greatest amount of time. So, yeah. Yeah, whenever he gets outside. That's another true statement. I'm a little antsy in the pantsy to get started making contacts myself, but I want to take my time. and really get have some coffee. You know, I'm gonna do some backpacking food. I think I have a breakfast skillet, freeze dried breakfast skillet. Sounds amazing right now. Katie asked, where did I get this hat? I got this from HRO today. I went to go see my buddy Billy Bob. He just happened to be there. But I needed coax. So, in fact, here it is. Ooh. I love wound up coax. I don't know what it is. Just, this is like the nicest coax will ever look ever again is when I pick it up and I hold it like this. It's got this great little label. I don't know what it is about coax, but when it's like this, it's like, yeah, I like the look of that. I like these little protectors too. Oh, they're green. Look it. I can make. You can see through my head. Great. Gotta love green screens. Anyway, HRO, and it was pretty cool. Got to. I don't know if they're watching, but they recognized me from YouTube, and we had some selfies, and got to talk to them for a little while on their 7300. They bought a 7300. It was a lot of fun. Oh, I didn't even. Look at this. Look at my new giant. I'm a giant now. Look how big I got. Let's we can't. Oh, wow. We should check in with the. Wow, guys. Check this out. So, this is all activity right here. Those are all single sideband comms. And we're not even showing anything and are hearing stuff. Okay, here we go. There's a lot of activity. That guy was talking about Dakota batteries. This is crazy. Whew, who's getting excited? Look at all this activity. This is nothing. Oh, bit of a shout out to Jerry too. Jerry's gonna be doing a soda activation. I can only imagine what it's gonna look like up there. Well, let's go up to 260. Oh, there's somebody in there. Yeah, that was Riddy. Let's look at 70 real quick. Oh, yeah. Lots of activity. These are the Spanish-speaking field day operators. $40 meters pretty hopping too.
switch one, Mike? I don't know. I haven't heard him on 55 come back yet. Okay. I'm going to go to 56. Okay. Or 55.
So what you're going to be hearing a lot if you get on today is a lot of this kind of stuff.
We know that Richard is on.
They're kind of checking how good they are, like trying to figure out how far they're getting out. That's an S9.
Give some of you, particularly the East Coast guys, and Ken, an opportunity to see if we can tell which frequency Richard's transmitting on.
I'm jazzed.
On 55.
I'm super excited. I'm so excited. So scared. Anybody know where that's from? Those are multiple stations on top of each other. Yeah, I don't know if Ginja is, yeah, it's Saved by the Bell. I don't know if Ginja's in the live stream watching me right now, but yes, there is a field day manual for configuring FT8. If you want to run FT8, you need to go look it up. There's a Facebook group on, Facebook. It's FT8 for Field Day. Go check it out. AM. Tom's over here with his shaking his cane at the YouTubes. There's all these kids with their single sideband. We have 100 people watching. Whoa! Hey, thanks everybody for watching. I'd love it if you gave me a thumbs up. I would love that. Thank you so much for stopping by. For those that just got here, I will be live streaming all day tomorrow at Field Day from my super remote, hard to get to destination of my backyard. But it's where my awesome internet is, and I need that to stream. But I will be working off of emergency power, and I will not be on the main, so thank you. A lot of people. How do you connect a ham... Wait. How do you connect a ham radio to car battery? Positive and negative, bud. That's it. So I'll let that play for a second. So the reality of HF radios, ham radios in general, they're DC. So you just plug that sucker right in the battery and you go. 12-volt battery. That's it. 12-volt batteries and your radio is likely already a match made in heaven. I have some... Yeah, I'll show you tomorrow. I don't want to spoil everything, but I've got all kinds of connectors and wires for doing, battery connections. We'll have a solar panel. I'll walk you through that as I'm setting it up. The solar panel is linked in Amazon. It's great. It's going on my roof after this. I told Leia that I'm gonna put probably another panel up there, get a couple of nice batteries, get it in the office here, and I'm just gonna run my ham radio equipment off of battery. She was a big supporter of that because she's trying to be more environmentally friendly. So I was like, yeah, I get free gear if I tell her that if I'm looking out for the environment. Free gear. Oh, okay. So if you're talking about you got to be very specific with me. I take people very literally. If you just say, how do I hook a radio to a car battery? I'm just going to think you've got a car battery and a radio sitting next to each other and you just need to hook them up. If you're talking about how do you connect a radio in your car to a car battery in the engine compartment, The best way to do that is pop a hole through the firewall, or find a hole that already exists and run the connection right to the battery. That's the safest way. You're basically letting the battery be a buffer between your car, your alternator, your ignition. The battery is kind of smoothing it out, smoothing that power out for your radio. Best thing you can do is connect directly to the battery. I'm going to try and start at 9 or 10 o'clock. It really depends on how early I get to sleep. It depends on how much I get done tonight and how much I have to do tomorrow. So, in fact, I've got to finish up here, and then I got to take this, my whole look and feel here, and I got to get it onto the laptop, which I have not had good luck with. So, yeah. CycleCamp says, "Hi Josh, just started measuring the trees for a new 10 to 80 meter off-center fed dipole. Picked up coax, paracord, and just need to get some pulleys and hardware." Good for you. And the fact that you said pulleys, I'm even happier, because you're doing it with pulleys, which is great. So then you can service the antenna easily. That's awesome. Yeah. Patrick is responding to Dylan, who is asking about field day operation. So you are, if you're working at a club, you are operating under the club call sign, which is going to be whatever license that club call sign is under whoever is the responsible person for that license. So most likely extra. So you get to operate with extra privileges tomorrow for field day. Yeah. If you try to drive a 100 watt radio transmit via car, a SIG plug, it won't get enough current from the plug. Please do not try to run any HF radios off the cigarette lighter. I wouldn't really run any radio off the cigarette lighter personally, unless you're just charging the battery. As was mentioned, the gauge of wire is unknown. You don't know what else is in the loop there in that circuit. You could fry you could fry something. Frying something is bad, very bad. You could melt things and damage your car. So don't do that. Okay. Some HF radios can even monitor transmit on the CB 11 meter band. Shh. Don't tell anybody. But yes, some can. So the way to look at like ham radio, I was talking to a guy today. Yeah, it was the guy that I met at Ham Radio Outlet who recognized me from YouTube's like, "Oh, I got a 7300 too. I watched your videos. Love your video." And he's like, he started hitting me up with all these questions on the 70. He brought me over to the floor display 7300 and started asking me questions. And he asked me, he's like, "Hey, I've never seen this before, but what does it mean when the red TX transmit is grayed out and then has little dots over it?" And I'm like, I don't know. I haven't ever seen that. And so we started playing around, and Billy Bob wanted to hear the radio on 640 AM, the radio station 640 AM. We hopped over to it, and lo and behold, the transmit box went dotted. The reason it goes dotted is because the radio knows you're not supposed to be able to transmit in that frequency space. The radio only transmits in amateur radio frequencies. There are ways around that, though, with other radios. That's why they're implying that some ham radios can operate on CB frequencies, which is true. That is possible. Anyway. All right, what else we got? Okay. We have people meeting at 7:30 for breakfast. Ha ha ha. I might actually get up. So you'll find that you're going to be so excited to do it that you're going to get up early anyway. If I get up early, I'll start streaming early. You're not going to miss anything. Don't worry. I'm not doing anything amazing in the beginning. It's only going to get more fun as time goes on. So just hop on when you can. But at the same time, you don't have to be waiting for me forever. CycleCamp says, "By the way, got the SDR radio kit you recommend for Father's Day. Great intro of how to waterfall displays work." Which one did you get? Did you get the new one? The Moo, it's not Moo. The black one, right? The skinnier black one? Awesome. I hope that's the one you got. Out of band. Yes, you nailed it, Luke. Yesu 991A. Good night, all. Hope to talk to you. Yeah, tomorrow. Take it easy, Dylan. 115 people. Thanks for watching, guys. Awesome. Appreciate it. Yeah, I'll be streaming tomorrow morning, hot and early, and going all night and into the morning. As long as I can stay up, I'll keep going. Leia just texted me. Must be important because she's texting me during the stream. The Roost Coffee Bar, a stuffed Brewster, a sign that says the roast bean grinder. I don't know what is this. Did she just send me a shopping list? I don't know what she's asking for. All right, let's get through the questions here. Oh, let me go back to the web. Back to the web. I need to talk about that my crazy bar. So on the left-hand side of the screen, you're going to see that propagation, solar data propagation. And if I go back to my main display, above the radio, right? Above the radio right here, right? Above here. You see this all these numbers and stuff. So a lot of stuff there you don't necessarily have to worry about. Start with SFI, which is the solar flux index. It's the number they use to determine how the sun's reacting, how much UV is coming out of the sun, how much ionization of the ionosphere you're going to get. Okay? Now, the middle section is VHF conditions. Everything's closed. There's no skip opportunities right now. There may be tomorrow, though. There may be during field day. So, awesome. You can try to send me a message. I might get the message if you want to send me a message on APRS. My antenna is currently connected to my VHF UHF radio, my nice antenna. So tomorrow we'll have better APRS opportunities, but right now, no. Most likely not. So bands are closed for, it says 6 meters, 4 meters, 2 meters, 2 meters, skip, UE, EU, North America. Okay, that's what that's saying. Skip conditions. HF side. Oh, excuse me. That beer's a little gassy. Good, but gassy. HF conditions, the band starting at 80 and going all the way down. It tells you the day conditions and the night conditions, right? Just like we talked about last week, how propagation works, how the sun affects propagation, how the sun affects the ionosphere. You're going to do better at night than you're going to do at day for some frequencies. We talked about for 80 and 40, actually anything between 40 and 80 all the way up to 160. When the Earth is blocking the sun, the layers in between the ionosphere to the Earth disappear. It's just the ionosphere and the Earth. There's nothing in between. So that's why it's better in that case. 80 does better when the solar flux index is lower, and it all changes when the solar flux index gets higher. Okay? So basically, you look at this as kind of a snapshot. It's a snapshot because you got to go into more detail, and I'll show you what that detail is in a second. Gives you a day-night cycle on what's good, what's bad. It looked like she wants me to buy something, Leia, for the comment in the chat. She sent me a message and it looks like a shopping list. So how do you use all this? Well, this is the most practical way that I found to use it. And this map does a really good job of this. This map is the United States. Okay? Sorry, not the United States. The world, which includes the United States. Sorry, selfish American. I apologize. What it's doing, all the colors match up to that key on the top. That's your MUF, your maximum usable frequency that we talked about last week. So basically what you're going to try to do is you're going to figure out where you are and figure out where the contact is that you're trying to make. Or maybe you just want to know where you can make contacts. That light green kind of loop that's going around the light blue, that's all in the 5 megahertz range. So 3.5, 80 meters, but 7 megahertz, 3.5 megahertz, 80 meters, 7 megahertz, 40 meters would be good. Very good, okay? So you basically use that to determine how to get around and who you might be talking to. For instance, that light blue is 6 megahertz. That's going through all the way east of me and then all the way up the eastern side of the United States. So if I wanted to get to Maine, I'd probably have to work something in between 5 and 6 megahertz. Okay, not that there is much, but I would probably work 40, right? You can't really DX with 40 though. So that's part of the problem. That's the reality there. So hopefully that makes sense. Will I be using this tomorrow? Yes, I will. You don't need to as much though, because there's going to be people everywhere. There's going to be people everywhere. You are going to have tons of people everywhere tomorrow, including VHF. We don't have anything on... Although I will say that VHF has been pretty quiet. Let's see. No, wrong one. I just chunked the... Shh. Kilo India 6, November Alpha Zulu. Field day prep. See if anybody comes back on that. That's the call frequency for 2 meters. Question, will people be on 10 meters tomorrow? Likely, but you're going to have to watch it. Okay? Oh, sorry, Carrie. Yeah, it's hamqsl.com, but I'm looking specifically at Solar 3. So let me post in the chat. Ladow. There you go. Ooh, look at when I post, it looks so amazing. All that pink. All right, so anyway, that's propagation. You don't need to worry about so much of that tomorrow. That's going to be more important for your future strategic and tactical ham radio goals, because it's literally going to be just a slugfest of people. Slugfest of people. She's sending me more stuff. Thanks, sweetheart. Patrick, do you only have 10 meters? If you're asking me that question because you're a tech, then absolutely, bro. Work what you got. I would work on 6 meters. I would keep an eye out for 6 meters if you can. I'd work VHF, UHF, work that simplex, go up and down the VFO looking for pounce. You know, they call it search and pounce. Start scanning, and if you hear a QSO, wait till it's done, and then immediately get in there with your call sign. Immediately call that station. That's how you search and pounce. And then you can just keep rolling with it. Call frequency is good. I haven't set up to work split. I guess I shouldn't work split. No, I shouldn't work split. I won't do that. Because I'm not doing DX. It doesn't matter. Okay. Skinny Flea. There was apparently a joke I missed. Can't be having fun at my expense, guys. 40 meter is always hot. 40 meters is generally really good. 30 meters is going to be great for digital tomorrow. That is my opinion. I feel like I'm putting wagers on horses, a horse race. All right, what else we got? We're going to wrap it up here in a little bit. We're going to go up on the Discord. Discord, again, Zach posted the link. Discord's great because you can talk directly to me, which helps if you have a complex problem. If you have a real complex problem, this is the best opportunity to get time that you can talk to me. So if you want to talk and ask me a complex question, go to the Discord chat, but you have a limited time because I'm not going to be able to hang out too long because I want to get ready for tomorrow. I am, as I posted in Twitter, very antsies in the pantsies for the field day to begin. All right, I just want to make sure I get through the questions. Wait, what happened? Aw. What just happened? I just lost everything I was looking at. That sucked. Why did that happen? I was scrolling and the whole thing just jumped. He was saying, I'm only a general. Oh, I'm only a general. I'm only a general. Bummer. Oh, I apologize that I didn't... Oh, I found it. I'm only a general, but planning to upgrade soon. Can you recommend any good rigs on a high school budget for an intro into HF, or is used the way to go? Dylan, I hope that was 10 minutes ago. Over 10 minutes ago. Sorry I didn't see it sooner. And I think people have been helping you. Use is the way to go, bud. It's absolutely the way to go. In fact, I would find a ham radio club. There's often people that are getting rid of radios, or they have radios they're not using, and they don't mind you using it until you find something that you like. What's going to happen, and I want to I want to make a statement real quick here. When you're starting out in radio, doesn't matter if you're young or old, but if you're starting out in radio, try lots of radios. Figure out what you like, figure out what you don't like. If you have that capability, explore that capability. Go to field day. Work on the radios the guys bring. Experiment with them. Play with it. Some radios are going to be really good single sideband performers, and you like the fit and feel. You like the you like the way the knob feels and all this stuff. 7300 has a great control wheel. You like the dials. You don't like all the buttons. Who knows? Try them out. Some things aren't going to work for you though. That radio that you really like the fit and finish of, the mechanical operation of, you may not like its ability that it can't do digital, or lack of ability that it can't do digital, or you need a signal box, a signal. Why can't I remember it? Anyway, little box in and out. Yeah, it's got the dials on it for doing digital. You may have to do that. You may have to adopt all these things. So it's something that you're going to build up over time. That's why I start out all these streams saying we're moving forward with radio. You don't have to have all the answers right now. You don't have to have the best radio transceiver in the world right now. You just got to have the ability to learn more and get better. And that's what you should always focus on. So, start with what you can get your hands on. If you can borrow one for a while, get to experience that, start with that. That's what I recommend. That's what old Hashnasi recommends. Let's see. Joe is talking about building something out of PVC. Very nice. Hey, when I'm... James Hart, hey, when I'm out on my bicycle and I have my HT with me, it's always field day to me. There you go, bud. John C., by the way, I wanted to say I love Hashnasi's channel. Tony and Jillian's channel are awesome too. If it has to do with amateur radio, it's awesome. We are very fortunate that we have a lot of really good ham radio channels on YouTube. YouTube is, when it comes to technology stuff and makers and stuff like that, ham radio's right in that Venn diagram. YouTube does pretty well by us when it comes to ham radio. Other things, a little bad, but there's a lot of really good ham radio operators. Oh, you know what? I should mention this too. July 7th, at the ham radio outlet, they're doing a ham fest. There's going to be a whole bunch of people. Gordon West is going to be there. I'm going to be there probably all day. They're doing They're doing a testing session. There will be raffles. There will be food. Aries will be there. Tons of people will be there. It's going to be awesome. So if you are in and around the Ham Radio Crash Course in Anaheim and you got some time to spend on the 7th of July, come out, say hi. I'll probably be there. Somebody asked me about doing a Ham Shack tour. I will. Just not now. There's no way I'm doing that now. This place is more messy than it's ever been because I've got everything pulled out and laying on the ground that I'm going to pull outside. So, got all my stuff set up that I can drag outside to set up. No way I'm showing you that now. I'm even embarrassed of that. And I live like a wizard with scrolls and crap, but it's radios and coax cable and 3D printers everywhere. All right, am I getting all these questions? If you try to drive a 100 watt radio transmit via... We're still talking about that cigarette? Okay, let me catch up. Oh, Carrie, thank you so much for the support. Thank you for everything you do for us. I'm not doing anything other than having fun talking about radio, to be honest. This is a really... I enjoy doing these. That's why I'm doing them. That's why I'm going to keep doing them, because I have a lot of fun doing it. I have a blast doing these. And I got to tell you, Carrie can probably speak to this too because she's a teacher. But I like talking to people. I like telling people about what I'm into. And the more I talk about the things I'm into, the better I learn those things. When I started doing those technician videos, I learned so much more about radio than I knew myself. Just from things that I had read and I kind of forgot. But then because I had to talk to you guys about it and create slides and whatever, I just retained so much more of it. So they've always said teaching is the best way to retain things, and I agree completely. Someone asked if I've talked to Leo Laporte, who is W6 Twit. TWT. Yep, it's me. That was Simplex. That was funny. That was on 145 Leo.520. Somebody just came in and said, "Is that you?" Yep, it's me. No. Leo Laporte, I have not met. I'd love to meet the guy. I watched Leo Laporte way back in the day when he was doing Call for Help and the Screensavers before it got like super cool. I was watching it when it was old dudes that were on it. Like what was the other guy? Kat was the woman that was on it, and then there was Patrick Norton. Yeah, Tom got a shout out for Jerry in there. Exactly. KG6HQD. If you like to do soda or thinking about doing soda, absolutely check out his channel. Franklin Lewis says, big storms all weekend in Missouri. Bad for field day. I'm sorry, bud. That's true. Jason says, Hosh is our Elmer. Thank you. That's very nice of you. I try not to put out false information and try to be as honest as possible and help. When I don't know, I'll point you to people like Loyal, for example, who are going to bombard with DMR questions right now. So I hope you're ready, Loyal. Thank you for liking DMR. Is VHF UHF simplex going to be good tomorrow? VHF UHF simplex is going to be good, but the call frequency is going to be smashed. So you might want to, if you are operating on VHF UHF, you might want to pick a frequency 5 up or 5 down from the VHF UHF call frequency, which is 146.520, and just start calling CQ, and start just taking contacts that way. That would be the best way to go. Oh, thank you, Ethan. We got our other admin in here. Ethan, he mentioned Patreon. I have a newsletter that I do once a month. It's $1 to be a patron. And the other thing that gets you is the first weekend of every month, the first Friday of every month, I have a list of categories that are usually recommended by the viewers, and the patrons pick. We call it Patrons Pick. And that's the topic we discuss on that stream. So if you have like SDR, we're going to have to hit SDR really hard here soon. I haven't been back to it in a while, so we're definitely going to be getting back on that train. All right, 8:15. We'll take a couple more questions, then we're going to head out of here. That's funny. Those were great suggestions for everything, for sure. Is field day this weekend? Field day, David McKay asks, is field day this weekend? Field day is always the 4th weekend in June. It's this weekend. Which means, so interesting point, the W6 TRW swap meet, which I've gone to and I've met some of you there, the W6 TRW swap meet is always the last Saturday of the month, which generally means the swap meet falls on field day. Turns out this month, field day is not the same weekend as the last Saturday of the month, which is pretty cool. So I get to do both. Next weekend, I'll likely be at the swap meet. David McKay, go to the ARRL field day page. In fact, if you're still watching, I know you got that link. Tom, can you? Oh no, Tom can't post the link. Ethan or Loyal, if you're still watching, or Zach, can you post the link to the field day locator on ARRL? I don't have it open right now. Let's see. But anyway, if you look up ARRL field day locator, that's where to go for sure. Where's my rabbi? Rabbi Menachem. Is it Menachem? Mendel. I am so bad with names. I'm sorry. Sneerson. How about an amateur extra class? We gotta talk about that. That's getting pretty heady. It's getting pretty nerd down. Nobody watches those videos. No, I'm just kidding. I'll think about it. Thank you. Who posted that? Patrick figured out how to trick the YouTube bots. If you post a link like YouTube freaks out, I get it. But if you're not an admin or me, you can't really post links. But he got it. There you go. There you go. Fan TV knew. Oh, thank you, Zach. You got it. Excellent. Okay, so field day is going to be popping off tomorrow. I'm very excited. I think I might even set up a hammock. I might sleep outside. Leia said I should definitely sleep outside. She could have the bed to herself, which sounds like a really good idea for her. What antenna is connected to that 7300? So right now I have a G5 RV that I threw up that I just wanted to get running. An inexpensive antenna. Not the best performer. I'll probably make a video on the G5 RV on what I recommend you do with it. I have it kind of in a sloper configuration. It's not, the legs are not horizontal. They should be. They really should be. I think I'm going to go with a hex beam. I think I'm going to get a hex beam. A 40, at least a 40 and a 20. And I want 40, 30, 20. Those are my favorite bands. Is 40, 30, 20. I like 80 because I got friends on 80. And so I like to talk on 80, so I got to figure out something for that. So that's going to be another problem. But that is what's attached right now. I can go all the way up to 80 on that G5 RV. I can hit Arizona, which is pretty good. I was talking to a buddy of mine a couple of days ago on single sideband late at night on 80. Pretty good. Okay. Yeah, I love lasers. G5 RV, it sucks on all bands equally. Pretty much. Yeah, I don't disagree with that. Yeah, Franklin and a couple other people have mentioned it. Dave Kassler is much more of a detailed dude than I am. You can tell by the way he presents his stuff. He really puts a lot of detail into his work. So go start there at least, because I don't want to leave you hanging, because I'm not making an extra class anytime soon. With that said, go take the test too. Okay. All right. I hope to see you all tomorrow for field day. I will be streaming as long as I can. Boy, it's going to be interesting. All right. I had a lot of fun today, guys. I'll talk to you soon. Very soon, as a matter of fact. All right. See ya. Oh, yeah. Go subscribe. Hit that bell.